Hi everyone, this is Sophie. Let's see if Alan can join us very soon. And today I'm really excited to be talking to you about committing to your life. It's one of my favorite topics, especially because I can perceive that it's so easy to live your life depending on what is around you versus what you are choosing to have in your life. So today I really wanted to talk about committing to your life the way you would like to have it, not the way that is showing up. And so I had a really good example last night because I have a daughter who gets up really early in the morning. And let me see if I can add Alan. Okay, never mind. I cannot add him until... All right, I'm back. Yay! So I hope that Alan did not join while I was talking. Okay, so last night I had my daughter in the morning. She wakes up really early and she wakes up the whole house because she makes so much noise. And some of my family members were getting really frustrated with her because it seemed like no matter what we said to her, she would still make the noise. And I realized that it's really easy to just say, okay, this is a situation and we just have to suffer through it. So instead, what I did is I asked myself, okay, if I had choice here, what would I like? Okay, I would like to sleep until the time that I said I'm going to sleep. And okay, great, awesome. Let's see if I can, yes. Alan is joining us. It says adding, so hopefully he's gonna come soon. But I was really determined to have my... Hi!
Hello.
Peter!
Hello.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool now, this split screen. That's awesome. Hi, Alan.
Hello. I must remember to look in the left-hand side so you can see me.
So let me just finish this quick story and then we'll chat.
Sure.
So I asked myself this question. Okay, so if I had my choice, if I could really sleep in until I decided I'm sleeping and not wake up because my daughter made noise, how would I make that? Like, what energy do I need to be? What can I create here? So what I did is I wrote her a really short letter and I posted the letter by her nightstand. And I asked her, I said, hey, could you please stay in your room and not make noise until that time? And I gave her quite an early time, but for her, that was a big deal. And it worked. It totally worked. We were all able to sleep until the time I said, and we were all so proud of her for doing that. So that's that's an example for me of having your reality, even though it seems that the world is going to be, it's going to be noisy, it's going to be polluted, it's going to be mean, it's going to be unkind, it's going to be not as much money, it's going to be difficult, it's going to be a lot of competition. You can look at all of it, but what are you choosing to have? What is it that you want to have? If you keep looking at those things like that's what's happening in the world, then that's what is going to show up. So Alan, what are you committing to?
Oh my God. Too many things that I probably shouldn't.
Oh, that's not possible.
No, it's interesting that word commitment, because I know I used to really struggle with the word commitment.
That makes sense.
And yeah, and something that's really been at the forefront of my mind for the last, I guess really the last 8, 9 months or so is committing to my life. And like, what does that even mean for me? Because there is often like this real heaviness around the word commitment because of the number
Okay.
of, yeah.
Can we look at that?
Yeah, sure.
Because the word committed originally meant to be declared crazy.
Yes.
So if we actually look at that word and we think being declared crazy is a bad thing, then it would be heavy, right?
It's I tell you what the heaviness is for me, like, yeah, I mean, being committed to the biggest thing that comes to me with being committed is having no choice.
Yes.
So
Yes,
they
yes.
commit you to a life of drudgery. They commit you to a hospital. You commit to something and you can't ever get out of it. It's
Yeah.
you're locked in for life. That's it.
Now, now, the truth is that you're committed. Okay. This is so fun, so fun, so fun. So we're committed to having, like, what if we're committed to having choice? Like, if we commit to having choice, then no matter what, we'll always have choice, right?
Yeah.
So maybe it's because we haven't committed to what actually creates more yet, right? So if
Yeah.
you commit to have a lot of money, for instance, that's a lot of pressure. That's very stressful in this reality, right?
Yeah.
But if you commit to always having fun, then that means that anything that shows up in your life, you got to look for what's fun about it. Like a screaming child in your living room, you got to look for what's fun. A really high bill, or a really high invoice, you got to look for what's fun here. So committing to your life is actually making a choice that is so big that it can include everything that shows up.
Right. Okay. And that's a very different energy to that. And the one that really pops me, the one that really lights me up is committing to choice.
Yes.
Committing to having
Yes.
choice. So like that lights me up much more than committing to my life. And I'm aware that having my life means having choice. But for me, it's like if I commit to having choice, then I have to have choice in my life. Therefore, I can commit to my. So what comes first for me is committing to choice, and then committing to my life as part of that, of the greater.
Oh my gosh, how cool is that,
Yeah.
right? So everyone who's watching us, and hi to everybody. I saw some people that I haven't talked to in a while. Um, all of you that are watching us right now, what are you willing to commit to having choice in your life? How are you willing to commit to having an infinite choice? Let's not just even say choice. Let's go say infinite choice.
Yeah.
So that no matter what shows up, you can be like, okay, so what am I going to choose here?
Yeah.
Like a plane is late. Okay, cool. You still have choice. You can get on the plane. You cannot get on the plane.
I tell you what, there's something else. That's the lie that always sticks us. The committing to life is like, if you look at so much of previous stuff that like a lot of spiritual stuff will say your life is laid out before you, like, and it actually comes back to there is no. It's like, why would I commit to something where,
Yeah.
Can you get what I'm saying there? It's like you go and see a psychic,
Yeah.
tell you what's going to happen. It's like, well, if I commit to my life, then I'm committing to the life that somebody else is telling me is going to happen. That it's already laid out. That it's not choice. Life is not choice. It's laid out for you. You just have to live it. Wow, shit.
Yeah. Actually, you just brought up an idea. So, what if instead of committing to our lives, we chose to commit to our living?
And that again just feels that feels so much lighter than committing to life.
To our life.
Because there it is, like life imprisonment. Like there's so much misidentification there. I really get that now. If I commit to life, it's committing to life imprisonment or life in a mental home.
Yes.
Shit.
Yeah. So everything that is, so you guys, if you've never done Access Consciousness, I'm going to use the magic wand, which is called the clearing statement, because what Alan just brought up is a big energy that I feel we need to change. And the best tool that I know to change that is called the clearing statement. So don't worry about it. If you don't understand it, it still works. But if you want to know more about it, you can go to theclearingstatement.com. And it goes like this. So everything that we have made significant about commitment, will you please and create and destroy all of that times a godzillion?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nines, both shorts and beyonds. That's a little lighter,
Much.
And everywhere that you've decided you no longer have choice, if you commit to something, will you please and create and destroy that times a godzillion?
Yes.
right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all lines, both shorts and beyond. It's funny because I realized the clearing statement actually is meant to give you choice.
Right. The irony.
It's funny, we can see your finger.
Oh, can you?
So
I'm sorry.
instead of committing to your life, commit to your living, because when you commit to your living, you can stay present. Oh, thank you so much for that.
That's what I was trying to do.
To your living, you can stay present in the moment and choose in the moment what works best. And at the same time, what I find out and what I really want you guys to consider today is that if you choose something so big, so big, I promise you that that commitment will carry on everything else in your life. So one commitment that I have is to make people laugh. And if I am choosing something that does not make people laugh, my body gets sick. My body is like, what the heck are you doing? So when I say laugh, like, I'll go for the smiles, I'll go for the, yeah, that's smart, but the laughter is my target. Why? Because I don't know anything that releases more energy, that changes more things more quickly than laughter.
Yeah.
Right? And it lights me up. And I can commit to that, even though, man, that's so much pressure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so not funny. Oh my gosh, all of that, right? I hear all of that. It doesn't matter. Those are pebbles. Those are little things on the side of the road compared to what I'm choosing, to what I'm committing to. I'm committing to making people laugh. And that, my friend, is pretty, it's like an air balloon underneath me that lifts me up, because that to me is so big. Now it's my choice. It's what I'm choosing. And you guys, like, I've had my daughter have a temper tantrum, and in the middle of her temper tantrum, I'll find a way to make her laugh. So it doesn't mean that, like, it's not because there's a really, really serious moment that I can make you laugh. In fact, for those of you who don't know, I'm in Toastmasters, and there was a contest on Saturday in my area, which I won. I won the contest. And the speech that I started with, that I won with, had a really, really dramatic beginning. Like, it was really dramatic. I'm talking about death in the beginning. Within seconds of talking about death, I was able to make people laugh. Not about death, about something else, right? Because this is what life is about. We're gonna face something really dramatic, and it's important that we find humor, we find lightness, we find laughter as soon as we are done with that dramatic moment. Not to deny it, not to hide it, but go beyond it, right?
It's funny, isn't it, with the whole humor thing? I have a lot of the time very inappropriate humor. And I do find many things funny that people don't consider to be funny, like, death, that kind of, and sex and marriage and kind of everyday kind of stuff. And I do just find it hilarious. And I know it freaks people out too. And I don't make myself wrong for it anymore. I am aware of whether people can receive it. And for me, it just, it doesn't, I have inappropriate humor.
Well, it's funny you said that. When I was a kid, I would never cry at funerals. Like, it was just something I didn't. And my family actually used it to their advantage, because anytime there was a funeral, I was the one asked to speak, because they knew I was not going to break down. So I was always the one asked to speak. So sometimes we think people are not going to receive our humor, or they're not going to receive how we don't take things seriously. And they do.
Yeah.
Because it's who we are. So everywhere that you've decided what you are choosing to commit to is too big for the rest of the world, would you please uncreate that times a godzillion? Right and wrong.
Yeah.
I have never done clearings on a Facebook Live before, but man, it works. Okay, so I'll just keep doing it. And I want to talk about the going beyond things. So you mentioned that a lot of times when we commit to something, we feel we don't have choice anymore.
Yeah.
And that's because in this reality, it's like I choose, boom, and then it stops, right?
Yeah.
But choice never stops. Choice is something, it's a movement, it's an energy that keeps going and flowing. It actually does not stop. We're the ones that stop it. And I would like to start. So when we're going to look at creation, we're going to look at what we're creating, and we're going to start putting things in place. If we say, okay, my target is to make $1 million this year, cool. Then we're going to stop at that. And the problem is, a lot of us, actually, that's not how we're built. We're not built to stop. And so we're never going to reach that $1 million because we don't want to stop.
Yeah.
But that's what we're choosing. So I would like to interest all of you in going beyond that one choice that you think you're making, going beyond that. So for me, like, I started saying, okay, I want to make people laugh. Then I was like, okay, I want to make the whole planet laugh. Okay, I want to make the whole universe laugh, right? Like, beyond. Like, what if I didn't stop at this planet? You know, what if I made the stars laugh? Like, what, you know? So what if you did not stop? What if you went beyond that? That's the energy I would like you to consider. That's committing to your living.
Yeah. I love that. I absolutely love that. And it is, we do kind of, there is that thing of, and it's not choice, it's decision, isn't it? Very much in this reality. And you've made your bed, you must lie on it. You can't choose anything else now that you've committed to it. You're bad and wrong if you make another choice. And that there are, this defines how much choice is available to you if you make this choice. Whereas, as you say, that is that true? It's the lie that sticks us. If we knew, as you said, that we have infinite choice available to us in every second, and every choice we make just opens up different choices, it just and that for me is much more exciting. So if we were committing to having choice and committing to our living, how much more fun would that be? And it's okay to have targets, and then how do we outcreate those?
Yeah. So yesterday I was doing an energy pool, and if someone here does not know what an energy pool is, you're basically pulling energy from the universe through the people that you've decided you're going to pull energy through you. And the energy pool I was doing, I was actually pulling energy through everyone on the planet, and it got a little scary. Like, I could feel my barriers come up, right? Like, but other people, like, for me, I was like, what? Like, I just started crunching. So I also realized that when you're committing to your living, is you also have to expand your receiving, expand what you're willing to receive.
Yeah.
So those are two things. You're committing almost like an outward energy, and you're receiving an inward energy. So those are what I consider the generative creative energies of your life and living. And if you are interested in having a greater life, then you have to consider both of those. You have to consider what you're committing to and how much you're willing to receive, right? And aren't we going to be doing this on March 24 and 25?
We are indeed, and I'm even more excited now, having had this conversation and aware that, right, and having kind of just given this different perspective on living and choice and commitment to living and choice. It's like, wow, okay, so where can we go on the 24th, and how much fun are we going to have doing it? And yeah, I am really stoked about this class.
Yes, I may be making you laugh. It's possible that I may make people laugh in that class.
If you don't, I'm walking.
Okay, so March 24th and 25th in London. It is a class you have to experience. Please do not ask me to live stream this class because I'm going to make you do physical exercises. Don't worry, you don't have to sweat unless you want to. But it's going to be really experiential. So I would love for you all to come. By the way, it's in English and in French. And it's in London. And if you want more information, there's a website for it. It's called neverendingorgasm.com. And because it is about living your life as the never-ending orgasm. That's how much joy I want you to have. That's how much I want you to shake things up in the world and actually create the world that you know is possible, not what this reality shows you. How does that sound?
For me, it kind of lights up everything in my body. So when you first kind of invited me to play with this, it's like the energy there. I didn't even need to know what the class was. You know, the energy for me was just there, and now I get why, and I get that as well. So like, I wonder how many people will be willing to expand out to receive this class, because that's what I would invite them to. Even this kind of 10 minutes we've been on the call, it's like, oh my God, like, wow, what an invitation this class is going to be to really step into a different space.
Yeah. And also it's something that's going to be very generative. So we'll start living our lives. Like, it's not just a class. To me, it's an experience where you really get going. You get going. It's not just sitting in class, something like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Facebook is playing with me right now.
The joy of Facebook.
Yeah.
So, was there something I was going to ask? So people are going to come away from this class with practical actions to start putting in place, or is it more, yeah?
But two things. First, the energy and what I call the energetic confidence to have what you're asking for, and two, really practical, pragmatic ways of receiving what you're asking for.
Right.
You're brilliant, Alan.
Multitasking with my fingers. My fingers create never-ending orgasms.
My fingers just okay. All right.
Don't go visual. Nobody go visual.
Somebody told me you're gonna give them tissues, right? And I was like,
isn't that what tongues are? Sorry, okay. I think we should stop it.
Yes, we should stop it. Otherwise, Facebook is not going to allow this to be on. All right, my friend. We've given them enough, I think, right? Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you for watching our silly, expensive energy. And we can't wait to meet you in London.
Yeah, come play in London. Come play in London. Come play in London. It's only a couple of weeks to go. Come play.
Bye-bye.
Bye.